yards. Let's break it down as we have Pete Prisco and Damien here with us here in studio. No Rand today, but I suspect that we will see him a little bit later.
Hopefully he makes it.
Pete, let's start with the defense here because I feel like not a lot of points were scored in this one. 9 sacks for the Broncos. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, and they can rush the passer. I mean, Nick Bonitto's having a great year, but there's a bunch of other guys, and they came after him, and he held the ball, and they got him on the ground. That's what this team is. They're a great defensive team. You have corners, particularly Surtain, who can match up and play man-to-man. Moss has been picked on some, but he can still play man-to-man. And when you can do that, you can go after the quarterback. And they went after Justin Fields, and they hit him, and they hit him a lot. And yes, he held the ball. And you can see in a lot of these highlights, he's holding the ball. But they are good up front and can get after the quarterback.
Listen, I'll tell you, this Denver Broncos defense, they're good. But the New York Jets, they'll make any defense look good. I mean, I'm going to read you all some numbers. 82 total yards for an NFL team. Negative 10 net passing yards. Now, we know the sacks accumulate some of that lost yardage, but 92 rushing yards, yeah, that's good. They averaged 1.4 yards per play. They were 2 of 15 on third down. They can't stay on the football field. I mean, go to the earlier part of the game. The Broncos, they turned it over on the first drive. What did that result in? That only resulted in 3 points for the Jets. Why? Because they didn't get a first down after that. Then they had a 72-yard punt return, set them up in perfect field position. And what did they do? They got 3 points out of it because why? They didn't get another first down. The problem with this Jets offense, they have a lot of problems. I mean, all over the field. But when you can't move the ball, when you can't stay on the field, when you can't give your defense a rest, that's not complimentary football. That's how you end up in bad situations. Offensively, you don't move the ball. Your defense is tired. They spend too much time on the field. Now, luckily, they only gave up 13 points. I mean, that's a blessing for the Jets for as much time as their defense spends on the field. So, in totality, we know this. There's just a ton of problems with this New York Jets football team.
That was actually the first takeaway for the Jets defense. They were the only team in the NFL to be 0-5 and not have a takeaway yet. That was the first time they actually landed on the ball, but to your point, only got 3 points out of it.
Can't move the football.
Let's look at the Broncos side. Bo Nix here. I feel like there was so much expectation to him coming into this season. Now, he is shifty. We know that he can scheme around, but Pete, he needs to throw from the pocket.
Well, and if you look at his numbers, they're pedestrian. Those are pedestrian passing numbers. And I thought that when you look at it, last week in the second half against Philadelphia, it looked like the pilot light went on because he had been struggling up until that point. It looked like it went on, and all of a sudden, okay, Bo Nix is going to be Bo Nix again. But he wasn't today. And I think they're limiting him in what he can do. Maybe they're limiting him because they know what he can do. He has to be able to stand in the pocket and make throws to the pocket. Everything is on the move, schemed up, gimmicked up, and he's good at it. Don't get me wrong, because he's athletic, he's mobile, but you have to be able to throw from the pocket. And until I see more. Look, this Jets defense came into this game, they were horrible. Remember what happened last week? They were terrible against Dallas, and they didn't move the football. This offense it's 2 weeks in a row. This offense has to be better.
They do, and I wonder a little bit, some of the moving the pocket, getting Bo Nix on the run, is that because that's what we saw him, where we saw him at his best at Oregon? And if that is the case, well, guess what? We saw the same thing from Justin Herbert. They ran the same scheme for Justin Herbert at Oregon, and now what does he do? He throws the ball well from the pocket. He's one of the best in the league at it. And I would have expected Bo Nix to be on a similar trajectory as Justin Herbert, but we haven't seen it yet. Now, I wonder, just like you, is Sean Payton and this offensive staff seeing something at practice every single day to where they know they have to mitigate some of his inefficiency in the pocket by moving him around? Maybe, but either way, I mean, offensively, you should have had a field day against this Jets defense. This is a game, this was an opportunity for Bo Nix to really emerge himself this season and be like, okay, we figured it out on offense. They're still a little shaky. Now, luckily, they've got guys like Nick Bonitto, Pat Surtain on the defensive side of the ball that gives them more opportunities, but of course, we would love to see more improvement from Bo Nix, especially when it comes to throwing the football in the pocket.
And Sean Payton's such a great play caller. And if you go back and look at the plays that have been big plays for Bo Nix so far this season, they've all been kind of schemed up where they get him flowing back one way and throw back the other. He's got to be better staying in the pocket. You can win with defense. Don't get me wrong. You need defense, and this defense is special. But you also have to be able to throw from the pocket at some point. And I think they have to allow him to do it, and he has to be better at it.
And when you bring up Sean Payton, I mean, I'm looking at the numbers here, and yes, I just said that the Jets were 2 for 15 on third down, but the Broncos were only 5 for 15. They weren't that much better. They only ran 57 plays compared to the Jets running 57 plays. They only averaged 4.3 yards a play. I mean, again, these are these aren't the type of numbers that we expect to see when you have Sean Payton as the play caller, when you've got a guy like Bo Nix and the potential that he has with his arm, with his legs. We want to see better numbers than this. Even penalties, they were penalized 6 times for almost 40 yards. That's not disciplined football. And when I think of Sean Payton, all I think of is discipline.
Right. Well, if we're going to talk about Bo Nix being able to throw from the pocket, we have to look at the other side. Justin Fields, 45 pass yards up against a good defense. But Pete, this is not acceptable. What is going on with the Jets offense?
You know, it's funny. You're watching the game and you hear Kurt Warner sighing on every first down run. I mean, the Jets are predictable, and I think they have an offensive identity problem. And part of the problem is their quarterback isn't good enough to stand in the make the throws. And so what the Jets should be doing is spending a lot of time studying the college quarterbacks. That's what they should be doing, because it's clear Justin Fields is not their guy. He's not their long-term answer. You're not finding out if he is anyways, and he hadn't been playing that badly, by the way, going into this game. But it was so restrictive. It was so conservative that you had no chance to make plays on 3rd and long. So they got to start doing stuff on 1st down where they're throwing the football down the field.
Yeah, they've got to start winning 1st and 2nd down. The reason why they're so poor on 3rd down is because they're always facing 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9. And as a defense, what do you want more than Justin Fields standing in the pocket trying to convert on 3rd and long? That's exactly what you want. They don't know what they want to do as far as running the football. I mean, Breece Hall, he can be the guy. They've got Braylon Allen behind him. He can also be another guy. They're not using them well. And even when I look at the receivers, they're not always open. For as much as Garrett Wilson complains, he's not always open. Who are the other receiving threats? Breece Hall? I mean, this is a whole totality problem right now. Yes, Justin Fields, he stands in the pocket, he holds the ball for too long. Well, a lot of times he's looking for somebody to get open, and guys aren't open. The offensive line isn't holding up. That's a part of the problem, too. I mean, it's just, you can look at anybody and point the finger and say, it's this guy's fault, it's this position group's fault, it's this coach's fault. But if you're the New York Jets, if you're Aaron Glenn, you just have to take a good look in the mirror and say, it's all of our faults.
And by the way, there has been some talk of people saying, oh, Aaron Glenn might not make it through the season, and that's ridiculous.
What's that going to do?
Robert Saleh didn't.
That's ridiculous.
What's that going to do, Pete?
Nothing. It's not your first year. You're not going to get rid of. Let him at least feel his way through the first season, and then you can evaluate him after the season. It makes no sense. And did I like the coaching today? I thought it was horrible. I'll be honest with you. I thought the end of the half was one of. If you're going to fake a punt and actually get a 1st down, go do something, or try to go do something with it. It was a tight, low-scoring game. Go try and do something with it. I don't understand the whole method to that madness. And so that he deserves criticism for. And he's deserved criticism because his defense hadn't played that well this year, and they've been a bad tackling team. That was remedied today, but there's all kinds of issues. And so, he deserves the heat, but get rid of him after 6 games, that's absurd.
Well, I would agree with you. I mean, I'm obviously a Robert Saleh gal. I guess that was the 2nd year that they got rid of him after week 5, after the London game, I believe. Kind of a similar situation here. Let's talk about this last play of the game. Fields getting sacked on 4th and 8. Damien, when they could have kicked a field goal, 62, so quite far to win the game. What do you think of that?
Again, if you're a defense and the game is on the line, what do you want more than Justin Fields dropping back on 4th and 8? That's exactly what you want. Now, we've talked about this. All of a sudden, NFL teams, they have a luxury now to where they can depend on a 60-yard field goal, a 65-yarder, and just hope and pray. I would have loved them to see them be aggressive at the end of the half to go for it then.
Right.
You know, you kick that field goal and miraculously you make it, then all of a sudden at the end of the game, you're not in the same situation. You're not relying on Justin Fields to try to save the game on 4th and 8 from the 45, from your own 45-yard line. That just doesn't make sense. I think that when I look at the Jets, and especially when it is end of half or end of game, they just look timid. They look very timid. They look the opposite of aggressive. Justin Fields, obviously in the pocket, he's going to look timid because he's getting sacked on almost every play. Aaron Glenn, the decisions that he's making, again, we look at the fake punt at the end of the half, and then you do nothing with it. Well, it was almost like he just didn't want the Broncos to get the ball back with an opportunity to score. He wasn't looking to push his offense down the field and get some points to,
Playing scared.
Yeah, you're playing timid, and it's partly because they don't have an identity. It's because they have an offensive line that can't hold up. They have a star receiver who himself and other receivers aren't always getting open. The running backs have been abysmal. The defense has not showed up, and they've got guys. They've got guys like Quinnen Williams, Ahmad Gardner, who's supposed to be one of the best corners in the league. They've got the guys, but everything looks just so timid. It looks unsure, and it looks like it smells, it reeks of lack of confidence.
Here, the end of the game, okay, if you have Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers in his prime and it's 4th and 8, sure, you go for it. You have Justin Fields. He hasn't done a damn thing in the game. Try the 62-yarder.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I hate kickers.
Fields,
you know that. I hate kickers.
But they have a job to do.
And they have a job to do. And if you have a better chance to make a 62-yard field goal than Justin Fields does of converting on 4th and 8. So I didn't like that decision either.
Well, the Jets dropped down to 0-6, which even for Jets records, that's pretty bad to start the season. Of course, and you see there's that sack on 4th and 8, which sealed the game. You could check out the fellas on the left here, Damien and Pete, on CBS Sports HQ Game Day Recap Sundays at 8:20. Haley and Ran, I believe, will be joining for that show.
Haley will be here. Ran,
Haley will
we'll
be
see.
here. Ran, we don't know.
We'll have to see.